Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is session number 4 of the Return to Racing with Riptide here in Blue Water Aquatic Center in Apple Valley, Minnesota. My name is Carl Kinseth. I am a coach here as well as a parent. Now watch the timers file in, which means we are getting close. We're about 5 minutes away from the start of today's fourth and final session. Shortly you will start hearing the announcements. Once the announcements are complete, we should be starting with our first event, which is the 200-yard IM. 200-yard IM today is the first event number 31. I will be back with you shortly after the announcements are complete.
Welcome back, everyone, to the fourth and final session of Riptide's February Return to Racing Meet. We've seen some incredible efforts from swimmers the last couple of days, and we expect to see even more excitement this afternoon. This meet is held under the sanction of USA Swimming. The health and safety of our swimmers, coaches, officials, volunteers, and spectators is extremely important to us. We ask that while in attendance at Blue Water Aquatic Center, the following protocols are observed. All officials, coaches, volunteers, spectators, and swimmers must wear a face mask. Locker rooms are off limits for changing and showering during the meet. Drinking fountains are not available for use at this time. Coaches, officials, and volunteers will use the restroom in the 7-lane pool or in the dry land area. Spectators will use the restrooms on the mezzanine level. No cell phones or cameras are allowed behind the starting blocks. We ask that you remain quiet at the start of each race. Flash photography is prohibited at this time. At session end, officials, swimmers, coaches, volunteers, and spectators may exit through the front lobby doors, the dry land area door, or the 7-lane pool door. Officials for this afternoon are meet referee Melissa Weimer, meet starter Ryan Gradetsky, meet admin Deb Rizzo. We cannot thank them enough, as well as our coaches and volunteers, for their willingness to support all of our Riptide meets. Thank you to you all. Now, let's get going and have a good time. Event 31, mixed 200-yard IM, heat 1.
All right, announcements complete. We are ready to go. This again is event number 31, the 200-yard IM. We have Sydney Sadlick in lane number 3, Jenna O'Keefe in lane number 4, Lydia Harrim in lane number 5, and Lila Knapp in lane number 6. Oh, we got some problems with the starter here. I think we had to turn it on. It happens. There we go. Off on the first heat of the first event of session number 4, the 200-yard IM. 2 lengths of every stroke, butterfly, back breast, and freestyle. Again, this is the 13 and over age group. This is kids from Amy Parato's group, Michelle Hopewell's group, and Mike Parato's group, Senior Elite, Senior 2, Junior Select, and the Senior group. Into the backstroke leg. Our leader right now is out there in lane number 5, Lydia Harem. Followed closely by lane 6, Lila Knapp. And out in lane 3, Sydney Sadlick. Number 5, Lydia is going to touch first into that backstroke, going to breaststroke. 100 down, 100 left to go. A pretty good race out there in lanes number 5 and 6 between Lydia and Lila. Lila making up a little bit of room here. Also in lane number 4, making some time up, is Jenna O'Keefe as she's catching up to Sydney in lane number 3. With 50 yards left, turning into the freestyle, off lanes 5 and 6 go. And 3 and 4. Got a good race out there in lanes 5 and 6. They're about dead even with 25 yards. They flipped exactly the same time. This is Lydia in 5 again and Lila in 6. Lila has now pulled to a little bit of a lead. And looks like she is going to take this heat at 2:49.02, down from 2:58.52. Lydia entered at a 2:56.16, brings it down to a 2:49.57. In lane 3, Sydney Sadlick entered at 2:58.33, drops 5 seconds down to 2:53.20. And in lane number 4, Jenna O'Keefe entered at 2:51.03, adds a little bit of time there at 2:57. Looks like I'm having some troubles with the stream here. It's a little jittery. After this 200 IM, we have an 8-minute break. I may reboot my Wi-Fi system here, the connection I have to the cell towers, and see if that helps out. So you probably will lose the stream, but it will be back. I will restart it, and you should be able to join right back up again. And again, that'll be right after this 200 IM event. Again, we have an 8-minute break before the 200-yard freestyle. Heat number 2 coming up. Lane 1, Addie Marsalic. Lane 2, Victoria Smith. Lane 3, brother Aiden Smith. Lane 4, Tate Dial. Lane 5, Grant Seelig. Lane 6, Maddie No. Lane 8 is Amy Birmingham. And in lane 8 is Isla George. Tate and Grant kind of breaking away right there in the first 25 from the rest of the group. Grant with the lead going from the fly to the backstroke. Tate right behind him, followed by Aiden in lane number 3 and Maddie in lane number 6. Tate's going to make up some time on that backstroke. She's a good backstroker. And she has made up most of that distance from the fly that Grant had on her. She's also a very good breaststroker, so we'll see what she does here. Maddie's hanging in, lane 6. Aiden's still pretty good here in lane number 3. Tate takes over the lead from Grant and will make her turn going into the breaststroke. Maddie No with a good underwater pullout in the breaststroke. Making up some time between her and Grant as well. Tate still holding her lead at the first 25 of the breaststroke, making her turn. And she has opened up her lead to about a body length and a half over Grant right now and the rest of the group. And here she turns into her freestyle. Holding a good lead here. Tate is entered at 2:25.44, and she is going to do better than that. Quite a bit better than that, actually. At 2:19.38. Very nice time for Tate. Grant entered at 2:25.66, is going to touch at 2:25.77. Third place down in lane number 3 is Aiden at 2:27.74, entered at 2:26.62. A little bit of an ad right there. Lane number 8, Isla George coming in right now at 2:43.51, down 5 seconds from 2:48.22. And Victoria Smith in lane number 2 making her finish. They'll do their easy 50, and up next will be heat 3 of 4. In lane number 1 will be Claire Kinseth. Lane number 2, Hunter Ridding. Lane 3, Sarah DeFore. Lane 4, Sophie Scroggins. Lane 5, Elizabeth Oakman. Lane 6, Tessa Lindstrom. In 7 will be Maggie Anderson. And in lane 8 will be Catherine Bonneville. About 36 people online watching the live stream. Welcome. If I can get my Verizon cell service here to hang on, I won't have to do that reboot, but it doesn't look very pretty at this point. So I'm hoping that will fix it. It hasn't been a problem, of course, until now. All morning it's worked great. But we'll see what happens. Okay, again, lane 1, Claire. 2, Hunter. Lane 3, Sarah. Lane 4, Sophie. Lane 5, Elizabeth. 6, Tessa. 7, Maggie. And in lane 8 is Catherine. It's like right now, Hunter in lane number 2 looks to have the lead in the butterfly. He is tightly contested by lane number 5 and 6, which is Sophie Scroggins and Elizabeth Oakland. And has opened up that lead a bit in the backstroke in the first leg. 1 and 5, Claire Kinseth turning with Elizabeth Oakland. In that second position, Catherine Bonneville out there in lane number 8 is hanging tight with the second pack here and actually pulls ahead of them in the backstroke. So she will turn into the breaststroke now. Hunter's got a big lead out there on his breaststroke leg. Holding that second position right now is Claire, and down in here in lane 1. So we got Hunter in 2, Claire in 1. And then the pack is a little bit tight for that third position. Let's see what the freestyle brings here. Claire turns into her freestyle. 5 and 6 as well, which is Elizabeth and Tessa. And here comes Hunter. Hunter is entered at a 2:21, and he's going to tank that time in a good way. 2:13.99, very nicely done. And Claire in at 2:21.59. In the third position, we have lane number 6, which is Tessa Lindstrom at 2:23.43. Most, if not all of these, are Senior 2 and Senior Elite, and I know they are being beaten up right now. This is there is no rest right now. They're working hard. They're doing dry land, and so you may not see the best times from these kids this afternoon, which is fine. Next month will be their taper meet, and that is where we expect time drops to happen. All right, fourth and final heat. In lane number 1 will be Paige Steenbach. Lane 2, Ella Passe. Lane 3, Maddie Hall. Lane 4, Matthew Mortensen. Lane 5, Megan Hutchins. Lane 6, Elizabeth Bonneville. Her younger sister Catherine was in this past heat. Lane number 8. Lane number 7, Rachel Hutchins. Sister 2, Megan Hutchins. And in lane number 8, Ava Marie Hopewell. We got a wardrobe malfunction in lane number 2. Ripped cap. It's always the worst right before you jump on the block, but she's okay. Someone lent her theirs, so we're all good. Moving on to the 4th and final heat of this 200 IM. Matthew Mortensen is your top seed here at 158.95 in lane number 4, followed closely behind by Megan Hutchins in 5 and Maddie Hall in 3. And Matthew is out first in the fly to the backstroke, followed by Megan and Maddie. Matthews opened up his lead here in the backstroke. He will be first to turn into the breaststroke leg, followed by Megan and then Maddie. And then lane number 6, which is Elizabeth Bonneville. And lane number 2, which is Ella Passe. All right, Matthew turns, got a 50 freestyle left, 35.62 on that breaststroke leg. Megan touching second, followed by Maddie Hall and Elizabeth Bonneville, Ella Passe, and lane 7, Rachel Hutchins. Lanes 1 and 8, Avi and Paige Steenblock making their turns into the 50 freestyle. Here comes Matthew, again entered at 158. The pass is right there. He'll be a little bit off, but again, that is actually no surprise this time of season. 203.06 for Matthew Mortensen. Rachel is going to touch at 208.72, followed by Maddie Hall at 211.03. Elizabeth Bonneville out in lane number 6 at 214.43. In lane 2, Ella Passe at 216.52. All right, I said I was going to reboot some things and disconnect, but looks like my network connection has stabilized here a bit, so I am not going to do that. We are going to go on our 8-minute break, though, before we commence with the 200-yard freestyle. Looks like there's going to be an 8-minute break between every event, as a lot of these kids are swimming back-to-backs. So I will go on mute. The sounds of the pool will be heard through the other microphone, so we'll leave that on. And we will commence in about 8 minutes, and I will connect back with you then. Thanks.
really he's in good shape.
He lives in Colorado now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have Facebook, but his wife does, so I see his kids' pictures and stuff. So, interesting. Yeah, he was a pretty natural, talented kid. His junior year, he went up 46 something on her relay. Back then, that was all.
Now that's
And then he was, then his junior and senior year, he's captain in the Big Ten, Northwestern.
Oh, really?
And Eric Haseman, because he's a year older, they're both captains in the Big Ten the same year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Where did Haseman go?
You,
Oh, did he?
yeah, he was off, he had full rides other places with the academics, because he's very academic. And he decided to go to U, and all he did was books to begin with, and he became the captain by the time he's a senior. So he's like a 20-point guy, and then 45, 400. Yeah, 45 ball. By the time he graduated.
Event 32, the mixed 200-yard freestyle.
Okay, here we go with event number 32. We've only got two swimmers. We have Grace Martin in lane number 4 and Petra Valise in lane number 5. Grace Martin entered with a 2:46.14, and Petra Valise entered in a 2:46.77. So pretty evenly matched on entry times, and pretty evenly matched here for through the first 50 yards of this 200 freestyle. Grace out to a little bit of a lead here at the first 50. At the 100, lane number 4, Grace Martin with a couple body length lead now. 4 lengths left to go for both swimmers. Grace holding strong. Both have 50 yards left to go. She makes her turn. Petra making her turn with 2 lengths left. And we'll see what the girls have left in them here for this final 50. And Grace entered at 2:46.14 and Petra 2:46.77. All right, Grace is going to touch at 2:35.52. Nice drop for her. Petra's going to have a good drop here at 2:39.31. Excellent, excellent swims. Heat 2 coming up next. Lane 1 is going to be Molly Pitson. Lane 2 will be Lila Knapp. Lane 3, Maisie Sadlick. Lane 4, Victoria Smith. Lane 5, Lydia Harum. Lane 6 is Sydney Sadlick. Lane 7, Gabe Lenzen. And in lane 8 is Annika Arlenson. And here we go with heat number 2 of the 200-yard freestyle. Right out of the gate, we got a sprinter out in lane number 8. That is Annika Arlenson. She has taken off. Let's see if she can hold this pace here. She's out at a very good pace. Taking the rest of the group to task here. Annika entered at a 2:44.61, turns at 29.54, so sub 30 for her first 50. Turnover is slowed down just a little bit as she kind of evens out. Still nice and long and strong. She's got a big, nice kick. Holding the second place right now in lane number 4 is Victoria Smith. Victoria will make her turn along with lane number 3, which is Maisie Sadlick. Annika still holding quite a lead on the rest of the group here with 50 yards left to go. They have piled up here in the second position between lanes 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Could be anybody's game for second place here. Annika is going to take this heat, and she is going to drop some time if she can hold on, which I know she's going to. She's at 2:10 right now. She's going to drop a ton of time. Ooh, good finishing speed there too. 2:14.92, down from 2:44.61. What a great swim for Annika out there in lane number 8. That 2:14 would put her squarely into the competition of heat number 3, which is up next. In lane number 1 will be Emma Patterson. In lane 2, Claudia Walker. Lane 3, Tessa Lindstrom. Lane 4, Elizabeth Oakland. Lane 5, Molly Johnson. Lane 6, Grant Seelig. Lane 7, Olivia Howie. And in lane 8, Ben Edwards. All right, one more time through. We've got Emma in lane number 1, Claudia in 2, Tessa in 3, Elizabeth in 4, Molly in 5, Grant in 6, Olivia in 7, and Ben in 8. Ben's older brother Sam will be in the next heat, heat number 4. And we are missing lane number 5, which I think I heard that Molly Johnson was not here this weekend. Well, Grant Seelig out to an early lead in lane number 6. The rest of the group is pretty bunched up for that second position. Grant coming into the 100 here. The group has made up a little bit of time in the second half of the first 100. Grant turns at 32.19. Lanes 2 and 3, Claudia and Tessa breaking away a little bit from that secondary group, making their move on Grant right now. Tessa has picked up the pace in a big way here. She is coming at the 150, and she will take over the lead at this flip turn. And she does. She flip turns first with 50 yards left to go. Let's see who's got enough in the tank to bring it home here. Claudia hanging tough with Tessa in lane number 2. Grant saw them their last minute, so he's picked up the pace a bit. Tessa still has opened up her lead. And will take this heat. That is Tessa in lane number 3. She is going to touch first at 2:07.17. 2:07.17. Followed in lane number 2 by Claudia Walker at 2:08.51. And Grant at 2:09.81 out there in lane number 6. Got heat number 4 coming up next. You got Caroline Mulrooney in lane number 1, Megan Hutchins in 2, Sydney Davids in 3, Jackson Keller, who is your 2020 Boys High School Class AA champion in the 200 freestyle, as well as the 500 freestyle last year. Hawken Naughton in lane number 5, Sophie Curran in 6, in lane 7, big brother to Ben is Sam Edwards, and in lane 8 is Stella Bouchard. A couple of 13-year-old bookends here in lane number 1 and lane number 8 with Caroline and Stella looking to break that 2-minute barrier for the first time. And your early leaders here, as would be expected, are Jackson and Hawken at the first 50, 24:01 and 24:17 respectively. Hawken hanging tough here on Jackson coming into the first 100. Jackson has a fantastic underwater, as you will see, and that tends to put him apart from anybody else who's hanging tight with him. He starts to open up his lead on Hawken here by about a body length. .26.04 for that split, 50 yards left to go. Battling for that third position, you got Sam out in lane number 7. You've got Sydney Davids down here in 3 and Megan Hutchins in 2. And here comes Jackson. And he's going to touch it 141.71. Hawken at 145.01. And that battle for third place is still going on. It looks like Megan Hutchins has decided she's going to take off, and she has. She's going to be your third place at 156.32. And Caroline just misses that sub 2 minutes. She's at 2 minutes, .24, and Stella at 2:05.80 out there in lane number 8. Sam goes 157.36. He's off by about a half a second off his best time, but good swims all around. All right, after this, we're going to have an 8-minute break again before the 100-yard butterfly. I'm going to mention as well, if you aren't, please do follow us on Meet Mobile as well. This swim meet is being sent out to Meet Mobile. You can click on Meets Near Me or search on Ripped February Return to Racing, and you will find it as well. This is session number 4. And I will be back with you in about 8 minutes.
We will return to racing at 4:38.
I'm sorry, I'm going to try to reboot this cell connection here. So we are going to lose this stream. Go ahead and reconnect as soon as you see it pop back up. I do apologize. I'll make this attempt. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to leave it as it is. But right now I've got 8 minutes to try to fix it. So we'll hopefully be back with you pretty soon.